Train depots disappeared from our historic architectural landscape far too quickly in the 1900s. Often they were lost because of progress. At least that's what happened to the Amqui station in Madison, Tennessee. Built in 1910, this little train depot was established as a switching station located at the junction of the Louisville-Nashville or L&N railroad lines, stretching from the north and northwest. It had a name like no other. Some say Amqui was an Indian word meaning parting of the ways. Popular lore has it that Amqui was a contradiction of "de quick" in reference to how long it took to travel from the junction to 12th Avenue South in Nashville, or to how quickly the train could get going again after stopping at the Madison train depot. No matter what the origin, the Amqui station became known as much for its unique moniker as for its switching function. The Amqui station train depot had an unusual two-story design. The second floor hosted a control room, more commonly known as the switching room. A waiting room could be found on the ground floor. During its busiest days, Amqui station saw as many as 40 to 50 trains pass through, many as 100 cars in length, some 200 cars stretching more than a mile in length. The demanding job of switching north and southbound trains 24 hours a day required that the leverman operating the three shifts received signaling orders first via telegraph, then through various telephone lines and radio systems. It was imperative that they stay in continuous contact with trainmen and operators up and down the line. In order to deliver commands to passing trains, the operator stood by the track holding a long Y-arm with orders attached, while the conductor, train in motion, reached down and scooped up the papers. Everything considered, it was a very cool operation, and one that continued for many, many years, until 1978, when everything changed. In a move to modernize the switch and signal gear, the L&N railway system vacated Amqui station. The railway system offered the deteriorating depot to anyone who would pay a moving cost. That anyone was none other than the country music superstar, Johnny Cash. Cash, who was a train buff, paid W.P. Camp & Sons, then a third-generation structural moving company, $25,000 to relocate the old depot next to the House of Cash in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He used it first to display his railroad memorabilia, then June Carter Cash called it into service as an antique shop. When Johnny Cash died in 2003, Halo Properties purchased the train depot and donated it back to Madison. If the community could raise the money to get the by now fourth-generation camp crew to return it home. We did, and now we are working hard to restore the Amqui station as a transportation museum. Many of Madison's community leaders and longtime residents view the Amqui station as a way to lay new tracks toward rebuilding a strong sense of hometown pride. The past years have been ones of tremendous growth and change in Madison. Yet, through all the transformation and modernization, our community has been able to maintain a small-town atmosphere. But there is still much to be done to build a future that honors the past while continuing to establish a sense of orientation for the future. To serve as a conductor for this revitalization project, an association named Discover Madison Incorporated has been established as a nonprofit 501c3 identity. While Discover Madison has already succeeded in having the Amqui station moved back to a temporary spot, the next phases include placing it on a permanent foundation, then restoring it to the way it looked in the mid-1900s. As a viable historic building and an important element in the flow of our culture, the return of the train depot to its glory days will help Madison to maintain identity, educate people about the past, provide an economic tool for planners and governments, and create dialogues and shared values. Our goal is to raise funds in the amount of $500,000. Why is $500,000 needed? To refurbish the building, to bring the building up to code specifications, to rehabilitate the building into a transportation museum. Our dream is that the landscaping of the station can be expanded into including a park area to encourage picnicking, outdoor concerts, bluegrass and other music festivals, theater events, artisans festivals, and other special events. But we really need you to help make the dream come true. Join the Amqui station crew. Contribute to the recovery of a treasured part of Madison's heritage that was lost for over 2 decades but is now being revived through the combined efforts of folks just like you. Simply choose what position you would like to sign on for, from switchman with a contribution of $50 or more to trainmaster, $1,000 or more. Mail your contribution to Discover Madison Incorporated, 301 Madison Street, Madison, Tennessee 37115. We appreciate your support. We hope that you will participate in the preservation and restoration of one of Madison's most significant sites, the Amqui Station. Our special thanks to those who have contributed to this effort thus far. Your consideration is invaluable. As we close this production, we are not saying the end because we have only just begun. Thanks for sharing our story and our vision.